Hello and welcome to Dinis Guarda YouTube podcast show. Once again, profiling the biggest leaders and entrepreneurs, technology and business, pushing forward the boundaries, how we can actually create new solutions for our world and for all the different iterations we are living in. Today, we are excited to bring to our series one entrepreneur that is building quite a lot of areas of interest when it comes to especially the areas of property, tokenization, and the solutions around that. So I welcome to our series Oleg, serial entrepreneur, investor, and business leader in the blockchain industry. Oleg is the founder and CEO of Binaryx, platform for tokenizing real estate assets using blockchain technologies and DeFi instruments. Binaryx operates as a really world asset, RWA ecosystem, enabling investors to make real estate investment more flexible and assisting developers and agencies in tokenizing their properties. Established in 2018, Binaryx introduces standardization in asset tokenization, and the company, based in multiple places around the world and as well in Dubai, aims to modernize the real estate industry by combining traditional property markets and simple, innovative digital tools. Oleg started his entrepreneurial career in 2012 when he founded his first software developing company. And in 2016, he also created a mining farm and a team of traders and developing trading assets and robots. In 2016, Oleg co-founded Paytion, financial service company, and one of the first Telegram-based crypto neobanks. As an investor, Oleg has been a part of DIMX, a company that helps small and medium business streamline operations and support new entrepreneurs with practice tools to build their businesses. With Binaryx, there's a big confluence with putting together one of the biggest industries in the world, the real estate industry, and bringing innovation around blockchain. I'm quite excited to profile Oleg, but as well to discuss these areas, which it's one of my personal passions, and as well see how this can actually bring a lot of innovation and solutions for the real estate industry and for the property industry around the world. Thank you so much for being here, Oleg. It's an honor to have you here and looking forward to talking with you.
Hi, Dinis, and thank you so much for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here. And thank you so much for that short introduction for your audience.
So, Oleg, Binaryx has a lot of new innovation facilities, areas that bring real estate tokenization, but as well real solutions for real estate world. So let's start a bit by you, because you have a fantastic profile and they're quite young, but already building multiple companies around the world, and as well Binaryx. So tell us a bit about you and how did it come Binaryx?
I would like to start from 18 years because it's when my career started, and then it started growing rapidly because I always was passionate about the entrepreneurship and all this stuff. Like my profile is software engineering, and I started doing the software development in 18 years. Then a little bit later, I opened internet shop what sell the medical equipment and realize it by myself. A little bit later in 2016, I started doing like crypto stuff and financial stuff, software development. And at the same time, I, as you mentioned, opened the crypto mining farm. And this is how my journey in the crypto world and how my journey in fintech world starts. Because at the same time, we have been developing a couple of financial products like fintech products, and that bring me to the idea in 2019 to start building centralized exchange. But we try to look for a proper way how we can like differentiate us on the market, and we start looking in the topic of tokenization for small and medium enterprises first. We understand in a couple of years of research and development that exchange is really hard and competitive business. So we decided to make a pivot. We continue moving forward with the idea of tokenization, but not small and medium enterprises, but the real estate. And I have a great experience in software development and the blockchain industry. I'm really passionate about like what Bitcoin brings to the world, right? And I really understand that Bitcoin solve one important problems is the trust between two parties. Yeah, and this is why Bitcoin called like bank killer. So they just solve the problem of transferring the funds in electronic form without the intermediary. So it's the problem of settlement of the funds, and that bringing actually a lot of possibilities. So people, of course, know that tokenization will be the future in 2016 and 17 when ACO boom starts. But what is the problem was and why it took so long for us since 2019 when we started developing an exchange until 2022 to find the proper legal framework that will bring the tokenization of the real world assets into life. I understand that a lot of different mechanisms, and I saw a lot of different mechanisms in real world. But what are talking about tokenization and all this stuff? But in my imagination and in my point of view, the tokenization should be connected with the blockchain really transparently, because that create a possibility of the blockchain like functioning. And in 2022, we found the legal framework that we are using right now. And in my opinion, it's one of the best legal frameworks that exist right now on the market, because that legal framework allowed to the companies operate as DAO with the smart contract. And in that case, the tokens from the smart contract become like shares in the company. So in that case, when we are start building our system, we saw that legal framework, we saw the possibilities of blockchain technologies, combine everything together and build a marketplace with like where there is a three parties on our marketplace. From one side, the property owners that would like to tokenize their real estate. From other side is property investors who can combine themselves into that. And from the third side, there is in the crypto world, it's called oracles, but we are calling them partners. This is a service of companies that are transferring data from the real world on the blockchain. And by that way, we build a pretty transparent mechanism of how people make the decisions about the real estate investments, because that unlock for them the possibility to make the decision based on data and based on the transparent data and not just on the feelings. So we already like build it and good infrastructure, and I can talk about it a lot. So I think we need to go to the next questions, and I think we'll the topic. Yeah, we will open the topic more a little bit later, right?
Yeah, so I have some questions on that. So let's go to your history as an entrepreneur, and you were always almost, I think, in your career in entrepreneurship is quite impressive. So you co-founded Paytion in 2016, which was one of the first Telegram-based crypto neobanks. So explain how we work and as well how you bring this fintech innovation and, like you said, blockchain and crypto together.
Yeah, actually, the Telegram neobank is the new approach, right? That we are using right now, because the Telegram apps just appear into the world like last year. So first we started as a currency exchange, then we create our own application where we give the possibility for the people start converting the crypto from fiat and fiat to crypto. We are licensed in Europe. We have 3 offices in Warsaw. So we just Warsaw, Poland, where we are represented. And we understand that that kind of business just can scale really good. And we start working with the clients. We find the problem in the internet when the people who have crypto, they cannot pay for the bills. So we just providing with the Paytion right now some kind of customer service, or in other way it calls how it calls actually. It's like a concierge service. Yeah, it's like a concierge service where we are covering whole needs of the clients. Even if we cannot cover that needs, we just have a partners who covering it, and that's what we bring to our clients. Right now, we launch in that exchange the project of issuing the crypto credit cards, where you can pay your cryptocurrency and use it for the daily payments. And of course, our goal is to scale the business for more countries. And right now, we start doing the Telegram application and give like just a transfer that stuff that we have in Paytion into Telegram application and allow to people use the Telegram application as a neobank. So that kind of stuff and approach. And we see a really big potential in that because we already have one white label solutions that we create for our partners, and they have about 1 million users in their Telegram channels. So that can create pretty good and impressive like stream of the new clients for the banking industry. All the banks are struggling about the customer acquisition cost. So the Telegram right now has the really less price for the customer acquisition. And we understand that kind of approach we can try to use. Of course, there is, as in usual, like in the business, can be some problems because not all of those clients who are right now using the Telegram applications have enough money to spend them. But we need to see, because when we are start building some companies, we need to adapt to the world, because it's not possible, in my own experience, it's not possible to build something how you're just imagine. You always align with the world and how it works, because that's just how it works. So we adapt our companies and our strategies always from time to time. So just evolving like the usual.
No, there's a lot of innovation around these platforms, and I think at the moment there's a huge urgency to make the Web3, Web2 talk together, and I think that's partly where your projects are super important as well, more important.
Yeah, but I will be honest with you. I'm not in operations in Paytion, because it's not possible to make operations into businesses. I just have a share in the company, and we have a separate CEO. So there is a lot from the background. Yeah, and I am fully right now in operation at the Binaryx.
Binaryx, yeah. So tell us about Binaryx. So you've been building all your life all these fantastic projects, and now you created something that touches the real estate industry, and a lot of ways of investing and participating in the real estate industry, but using innovative tools and tokenization. So tell us, what is Binaryx first and how it works?
Okay, so I already touched that topic before, right? So this is a marketplace with 3 parties, but I would like to tell you our goal and our vision, how we see it in a couple of years. So that will help you understand to your audience what we actually building, because right now we have a couple of products on Binaryx, and with that products, any investor can start investing in the real estate from $50, and that bring to the investor many possibilities, because they can diversify their investments across different properties, across the different locations, and make the investments more efficiently. The second thing is we have possibility to invest in 2 different kinds of properties, like off-plan or rental properties. And the third possibility that is tokenization actually brings to the world is the liquidity, because the problem on the market, on the real estate market, that is investments, what you make it's in real estate. If you're, for example, buying the full apartments, it's hard to sell it and it takes a lot of time. But if you have a small shares in different apartments and you need sometime you need to get out your liquidity, like $10,000 or a couple $100,000, doesn't matter. You just need to sell your tokens on the secondary market. And we already have cases how people are selling the tokens. For example, like couple days ago, we just finished sale of one of the properties and finished the tokenization process of one of the properties that are already generating the rent. And there were around like 240 something investors, and one investor decided to make an exit because he needs money immediately. So it took just like 2 hours to get around like $20,000 of his investments from the property. It's not possible to do like in the real world without tokenization. But why I am personally believe in tokenization? I will be honest with you. I don't like the paperwork, all that stuff, and it's really boring for me. And right now, I understand that our developments and our solution reflecting on the economy growing, because like I really love the Ray Dalio. Do you hear about like Ray Dalio principle of how economic works? So the economy based on the transactions, and speed of transactions help the economy to grow. So right now with tokenization, you don't need to go to the notary or to the lawyers to transfer your ownership of some real estate or other tokenized asset. I just can send to you right now 100 tokens of the real estate, and you become an owner of that real estate immediately. So it's really beautiful solution that brings the possibilities, a lot of possibilities. But our long-term vision, what we plan to create and where we are going, we understand that real estate market never been changed. Like it's already for a couple 100 years, right? And the time comes with the technologies to change that market. And it's possible to do with tokenization, in my opinion, because tokenization, the real estate is always about money, right? As investment asset. And the blockchain it was created for the money. So the blockchain just transferring the ownership into the digital form, and the transferability of the assets become more easily. So with that instruments together, it's possible to create the unique approaches and unique instruments for investments and assets liquidity, because the few things that I already mentioned, the secondary market on which you can sell the tokens really easily. So it's already worked. It's worked better than in the modern world. The second thing is that we are preparing right now for our customers is lending and borrowing protocol. So you can easily put the tokens and borrow or lend the tokens from the pools in the blockchain and get the liquidity that you need, like based on the property tokens valuation. And the few other things that we are preparing is derivatives for the asset rent. What does it mean? For example, you have an apartment that are generating $12,000 a month. What you can do with the tokenization, you can separate the real world asset, like a real estate asset, and the profitability from that asset, and you can sell the profitability to somebody else in year upfront, but not for $12,000, but for the $8,000 or $10,000, and the person who will provide you the liquidity will take that rent instead of you for the next year. So that's really amazing approach and really amazing possibility that creating a lot of unique opportunities. Because our main goal from my words to create more efficiently instrument to invest in the real estate and make that investments more like not how to say it by the right way. Our goal is to create the instrument without which it will be not profitable to invest in real estate. So in other words.
No, then it's a key element, because the combined global real estate an infrastructure market encompassing the residential, commercial, industrial assets, and was valued in 365.51 trillion in 2023. And the projection is estimating that we are in the end of 2024 to be around 379.03 trillion. So it's a massive market, and it represents probably 20% of the world economy. Actually, in terms of direct is more, but the assets, of course, are something you're not liquidifying it every day. But it's such a very important thing is the innovation around real estate and property. So from these parts that you just mentioned, how are you dealing with the elements of trust regulation adoption of the sector? Because I think that's the biggest thing right now. And as well, the biggest opportunity for Binaryx, because if you guys solve this, and I feel the same. I give you an example. I bought a small apartment in Middle East, actually in the area of between Middle East and Asia. And all the documents were actually at the time were in Azerbaijan. I was in Azerbaijan. And it was extremely difficult to pick this. And of course, I had my family and people, but it would be a nightmare for if I would be buying. I probably would never buy if I wouldn't have my relatives. So like you said, if you have this digital, you can do a lot of different things. But as well, I can actually buy more or buy a fractional ownership of that and do it in other assets because I have actually to send cash in some way. So this is the part that I want to touch, but as well, how are you dealing being a company that has already, your platform, there's already a lot of listed properties and you can actually immediately start going. How you deal with this trust regulation adoption and the user?
Okay, that's really good question because that question touching two topics. First topic, how infrastructure works, because our goal is to create an infrastructure for the real estate tokenization. And this is the main topic that are connected to the regulations. So let me start from regulations because in my opinion, it's a little bit easier to understand and it's simpler to explain. So we have been working on regulations since 2019, as I mentioned. We tried to open a small alternative investment fund in Estonia and tokenize the real estate and other assets through that alternative investment fund. Then we tried to make tokenization through master and series companies, through NFTs, but all of those approaches doesn't give to us that the transparency that we're looking for, because the transparency is the most key in the blockchain technology. So why we start using the DAO LLC is the legal framework that we're using right now. That legal framework actually appears just in the middle of 2021 in United States, in Wyoming state. So that kind of, they create the new type of entity, like what is called DAO LLC. In other words, is decentralized autonomous organization, limited liability company. So what is the key difference between DAO LLC and the regular traditional LLC company? It's pretty simple. A regular traditional LLC company operating with by standard method, but the DAO LLC operating as a decentralized autonomous organization with the smart contract address, and the tokens from the smart contract address become the shares in the company. So that's bring a lot of opportunities because right now you can go directly in Wyoming State Company Registry and download the documents about company formation, see the in those documents, you will see the address of the smart contract. You can put it in your browser and see if there is what kind of tokens is it, right? What kind of assets that company has, and you can see like if there is tokens from that smart contract on your wallets is at least or no, and that create a great chain of understanding how actually you own the asset through the blockchain. And if we compare that approach with other approaches that we have tried before, so what is the main difference and why we choose that kind of approach? First of all, because in all those approaches that I mentioned in the beginning, that it doesn't give an opportunity and possibility to connect the token transparently. It was possible just with the internally documents that are not public. So that creates a lot of misunderstanding, because the main thing that blockchain solves is is the trust issue, right? So if there is no publicly visible documents that are connected to some assets, how it can that issue can be solved. So we are thinking that approach that we are using right now is the one of the most good approach, the best legal framework that exists. I know that a lot of countries right now trying to create their own regulations. The European Union creating MiCA, Bahrain creating their regulations, Qatar creating their own regulation, and a lot of different regulations. Of course, we will see how everything will be in the different parts of the world. And our goal is to create an infrastructure and then adopt that infrastructure for different regulations. But right now, our legal framework allows to us work in many countries, because from the legal perspective, when how it looks like when somebody is purchasing the real estate tokens, then he starts become a co-owner of the company, but company holding the asset, and this is United States company. So in many countries of the world, it's possible to sell the property directly on United States company. But if this approach doesn't allow to do that, right, in some country, then what we are doing, we just selling the real estate on local company, and then local company can be sold easily on United States company. So that kind of approach right now working in Indonesia, Montenegro, in Turkey, and we are right now researching few more areas to give our investors possibility to start investing in other areas too. So yeah, that is approach. But that I would like to mention also, that's our main goal was to create such infrastructure on which we as a Binaryx, we will not own any assets and people will own it directly. And right now it works like that. Because people owning the shares of LLCs, we don't own the shares of LLCs. We just provide an infrastructure on which anybody can tokenize their assets, anybody can invest that assets, and decide what to do with their assets. With the help of the partners companies, they investors can make the governance, and those companies will implement their needs in the real life.
It's a key element that is very smart the way you guys have been doing, and very intelligent as well, because I think the challenge is, like you said, is how you be following the rules, but being creative and innovating around rules. So you position Binaryx as a real world asset RWA ecosystem. So that's quite a fantastic new innovation. And I want to just, for our audience listening to us, and I think this is quite interesting, there is a study by CAGR, Customer Marketing Insights, has been highlighting that in 2024, the market side for the tokenization around real estate was around 3.5 billion. The valuation is anticipated to reach around 20 billion around 2033. I believe the number will be much bigger, especially what is happening in the US. But coming back to Binaryx, so one of the things that you guys are doing is combining these real world assets, and like you said, in a very structured and as well smart and as well following the rules. But for people looking at that's now coming to the platform, that's what I'm excited as well. What you guys created is a platform where actually, of course, I can spend from $50 to start having an income in property. There's a couple of properties, a couple of platforms doing this worldwide, but not a lot of them achieved the innovation 360 that you guys brought. So how does it work? So let's start with a case study. I have $1,000 and I want to buy property. And you explain the part more, the background. Let's look from a pure investor or buying assets perspective.
Yeah, actually, it's also a really good question, because I remember I told you that you need to always align with how world works. So we start from the beginning. We have started as regular Web3 company, and we don't think that we need traditional approach. But a little bit later, we understand that portrait of our investors are people who already make some money, who don't want to spend time to struggle with Web3 and the crypto stuff. So what we do, we connect like solution that allow to people make registration really easily with email, with social media, and etc. And everything still works on the blockchain technology. So you can make right now registration on the platforms through email and then pass verification, top up your wallet with crypto or credit card, choose the property in which you would like to invest. That can be property on the construction or rental. The difference is the construction has more profitability in the long term, but it's not generating the rental income. And the rental properties already generating the rental income. But of course, the percentage of that income is a little bit less than in the construction. So yeah, you choose the property, click button invest, and you become an owner of the tokens. You will go to your dashboard. You can claim rent easily when it will appear there in your dashboard, or you can see how your investments in the construction is growing, because we are building a pretty simple but interesting mechanism that allow to you invest in the beginning and see how your tokens are growing, because with each purchased token, the next token price is growing. It's like in construction, like when you're investing on early stage, you have some kind of discount. But if you're investing on late stages, you don't have any discount with the discount of for your investments, because everything is almost ready and you can see the result of what developer done. So yeah, that kind of things that we are bringing to the world, and it's pretty easy to use. So our main goal is to create an instrument that will be understandable for everyone. And if people don't want to know how blockchain works, so they even can use our platform. But on the background, everything will be transparent. And if somebody would like to research and go deeper, they can do that.
So I want to touch on the platform because you guys really have a fantastic amount of tools. So in one end, you have developers, case studies, agencies, partners, independent agencies. And then, of course, you have countries already listed like Bali, Montenegro, Turkey. So tell us a bit about these special solutions that you have. So for instance, if I'm a property developer and I want to get into Binaryx and get inside of the platform, or if I'm an agency, or if I want to be a partner for us, you have in your platform case studies. And this is actually very important because there's a lot of innovation. And I think sometimes we speak about blockchain, but we forgot the real case studies that can exist. And that's what I like about what you guys are doing. So a bit of this explanation.
Yeah, actually, we're trying to not, destroy the processes that works in the real world. So we just try to transfer them on the blockchain, because everyone already know how it works, and we don't touch on it. Just keep it simple, keep it understandable for everyone. Well, let me start from one thing. I would like to explain how the tokenization processes looks like, and that will answer on your question as about how new properties are appear on the platform. The first of all, when developer coming to us, they are filling the form for the listing. Then, when they fill all information about the property and we collect all documents from them, we connect into that exactly property and to that exactly developer, the legal company that making compliance and due diligence. This is our partner for working on some market. And in the different markets, it's different partners. We understand that they have quite a lot of experience, like 10 or 15 years sometimes, and they understand all things that they need to check before they will allow to the investors purchase the property. So after they will finish the compliance and due diligence procedure, we are creating the DAO LLC, issuing the token, and people start investing in the property. When the enough funds is collected and invested, then we connecting again developer with the legal company. They're going to notary and transferring the ownership rights from the developer to the DAO LLC. And that's how it works. So on that process, when a developer, of course, receiving the funds, DAO LLC become owner of the real estate, and that's how the tokenization processes looks like. Then when the property are ready to generate the rent, we connect in the management company, and there is a lot of management companies in the world, right, that are managing the properties, and the management company starts doing everything. They looking for the tenants, collecting the rent, paying the bills, and all the stuff about the property management. And later, when they collect the rent, they send it to the smart contract. The smart contract automatically distributed between the token holders, depends on how much percentage from the property they have. But we create quite interesting thing here, because we when the management company collecting the rent, we and paying for the like previous months, for example, we are redistributing the property income in the months in advance, and with each few seconds on the blockchain generating the new block, and we unlock the small percentage of that income. For what we did that? And this is a like quite unique and interesting solution, right? Too, because it's not possible to do without blockchain. We did it because we understand that if the people will go on the secondary market and purchase the tokens, they will start receiving a rental income immediately. And that's some kind of tricky question with the psychology, right? But it's help to understand the people that they don't need to wait for start receiving a rental income, so they can spend the money on the secondary market, and that bring additional liquidity to all tokens that are sold on our secondary market. And it's really beautiful solution of that problem. So it's how the process of tokenization looks like. Of course, we are making on the background, we are making a lot of compliance and due diligence with different developers when we are looking for those developers. But our goal is to create such instrument and such mechanism that will allow to anyone lease their properties and to other side, like to other investors, just like invest into those properties. So we are creating an instrument, and in the future, everything will be not like some parts of the process right now is manual, but in the future, all the parts of that process will be automatical and based on the technologies.
That is a key element for bringing this innovation, and as well bringing much bigger adoption to special real estate tokenization.
And such kind of approach allow to us scale our business faster, because we don't need to build our own management companies. We don't need to go really deep into the legal and into the compliance and due diligence, because there is people who are doing that already like for 10 or 15 years in some regions, and they know the problems what exist in those regions. And all the actions that they make will be stored on the blockchain, so it will reflect on their reputation if something will happen, and they sign all that stuff and save it for the community. So yeah, that is really important topic.
So I want to dive in both your token and as well your community. One of the things that you guys achieve, like you mentioned, is the marketplace, and it's quite impressive. You have already a lot of properties and a lot of details. For instance, if I want to buy, and as you speak, Tim will put some images. I can pick an hotel and I can buy a percentage, a fraction of the hotel, of the investment, and I know what I'm going to have my return. And like I said, I'm effectively owning a percentage of this hotel and not directly just speculating around it. So from the community and from the token, how are you growing this community? And tell us a bit about that, because I think that's the key element for the success of platforms like yours, and as well for I think for all of us listening to it is what I want us to feel part of the community. And one of the challenges I've been feeling is I've been in real estate for a long time and understanding different trends is a lot of brokers and a lot of people talking, and like you said, most of the people are not digital at all. So it's a paradox. Fantastic platforms, but a lot of so there's a lot of work as well to adopt and build communities that actually can learn, but as well use this right.
Yeah. So of course we need to educate our community and our traffic that we are bringing on the platform. So is the main topic. Just close all like educational stuff and allow to people understand how the technologies works. Of course, it's not the fast process. I will be honest with you. And when we just start, we have been struggling from the how to explain all of that to the people, how they will understand that, and etc. 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 But right now, I see that as our investors is really good, have a really good knowledge. They are really accurate with what they are doing. They understand all the things that happen and what is going on. So it's not some kind of, like child who doesn't know how to invest. It's mature adults, people who know how to make investments. And most of our investors, they already have investments in the stocks. They have investments in the crypto. They have investments in their own real estate, and they see the really good benefits that they're getting when they invest in with that instrument that we have created. So that's about the topic, how we are building our community. And of course, all the investors communicate with each other. And I see really good, really good behavior when somebody right now start asking some questions. They're receiving answers about what is going on, how it works. Of course, there is always our community managers in the chats, but right now I already see there's a lot of not the subscribers and how to call them, the guys who are following technology and already deep dive in that and understand. It's like early adopters, but evangelists. Oh, yeah, like evangelists. So they become already evangelists of what we are building, and it's really impressive. That's like bringing a lot of energy to me and to my co-founders and to our team, because we see that people are excited about that. But answering your question and prolong it, because we understand that we are building the platform for developers and etc. We have tried a lot of different approaches already. We have bringing the local partners. We have been working with real estate agencies. We have been working with independent real estate agents too, because and we understand one important topic right now that exists in the real estate industry. And we start building 3 products for developers, agencies, and brokers. I will tell you about them right now. But the topic right now is quite simple. The traditional real estate agencies and developers, they are not efficient from the side of advertisement and marketing returns. Why I'm telling you about that? Because when they are using the advertisement, they like bring in a lot of traffic on their websites and to their sales department. But 95% of those traffic doesn't have enough money to purchase the properties. So what we allow them to do them to start converting the people who doesn't have enough of money to start investing in the properties. And in few use cases with the real estate agencies that we start working, we increase their sales for the 30% already from the traffic that they're bringing to us. And we understand that we need to scale that part of our business. And in 2025, probably in Q2 or Q3, we will release the 3 products. This is developer pages. It will be like Amazon seller page, but for the real estate, for the developers. The second stuff that the second stuff that we will bring is the broker management system for the real estate agencies, where they will be able to connect their brokers, and the brokers can sell the tokenized real estate. And the third stuff is customer reservation system, like traditional real estate developers have right now, but it's the customer reservation system for the developers who are already working with some clients, and they can be sure that those clients will not go and don't buy their real estate without them. So that kind of things that we're building, and that will give the possibility to almost any real estate agency, almost any real estate developer to list on the platform and start working with us.
This is, I think, for me, the critical element. I think one of the challenges is not the innovation around blockchain, is how we bring this to the real world of real developers. Because the challenge is that there's so much construction, so much people, and people really need this kind of tools. And I love what you said about, for instance, just the paper that we buy a property, how much paper you have to have, how much you have to do. And then, for instance, developer has to go through a lot of different levels. But of course, it's how we simplify this. So one thing that I like about the platform, and of course you guys are already having quite a lot of listed products, is that the UI UX is very simple, and the narrative around the platform is impeccable. That congratulations on that. So from the platform, we have the portfolio. So first, if I'm using the Binaryx marketplace, I can sign up, verify, invest in the property, and then I have my portfolio. I can be looking at construction, rental, or peer-to-peer market, and I can look at partners as well. So tell us a bit about this detail. So for people, because in the end of the day, everyone that buys a property goes to any website, and normally is where they feel more comfortable. They feel more comfortable if they live. Whereas London is a massive market of property, and I was involved in a project similar to yours. And I learned a lot that just innovation around London, most of this is still not so much digital as we would expect. So there's a lot of opportunities to bring the innovation that you guys did, but as well using a simple marketplace. And you mentioned Amazon, the success of Amazon, and that's why it became one of the top corporations in the planet, was simplifying the access to commercial things. So that's what you guys are doing. So from a product perspective, from a UI UX, and I know that you're quite digital savvy, how can we bring this to bigger audiences for people listening to us that want to test? Because at the end of the day, the risk is very small. How can they onboard and start getting in? Because I think that's the most important thing, is learning, and both if you are an investor or both you are a commercial developer or an agent.
Investing actually is pretty simple. You right now can go on the Binaryx.com website, click button sign up, then put your email on the sign up window. After that, system will ask you for a couple more questions about your name and etc., your data, and then you will be forwarded to the window of verification, where you can pass verification with it's pretty easy process, because you just need to make a photo of your own document, make a selfie, and verification will pass in around 2 minutes. We are using the third-party services that are licensed in Europe, so you can be sure that your data is private and doesn't go anywhere. After that, you just go into the balance or wallet section. It's possible to go into the balance from the top of the website. If you're using PC, that you can see it on the top right corner, the balance. You can click on it, click button add funds, choose the right payment method, refill your account, and after that choose the property in which you would like to invest and make your first investment. So it's pretty simple, actually.
No, and that's what I like about the platform. It's quite straightforward. So you have right now substantial investors already, and you have at the moment 3 countries listed, so Turkey, Indonesia, and Montenegro. So what is your growth strategy? Because I'm actually, to be honest, excited myself to start playing with the platform and get into this. But for instance, for people all over the world, are you trying to go right now to other markets, trying to talk with other different agencies, a bit of the growth perspective around the Binaryx?
Yeah, we trying to know, like we trying to be really careful with whom we are working and with the legal stuff. So first of all, we have a lot of requests from different countries like Poland, Germany, Italy, Switzerland, United Arab Emirates, Ukraine actually, and a few other requests from United States, Chile. So yeah, we have a lot of contacts with the developers. We have a lot of contacts with the different people, but in most of the cases, they thinking that if they will tokenize their properties, like the sales will happen magically without anything, So we're trying to keep this really simple and straightforward, and move just with the partners who can be aligned with us and can make some effort to bring their own investors on the platform, and sell them tokenized real estate. In our vision, what we plan to do next is go to the United Arab Emirates market because it's really huge, it's booming, and it's developing really fast. And there is a lot of possibilities on that market. And we attract the great strategic partners that plan to spend around $500,000 for the advertisement and the marketing and the legal stuff. So yeah, they probably that will be the next region where we will go.
Oh, excellent. And I think it's a very mature market as well when it comes to blockchain.
Absolutely.
Tokenization. So I want to wrap up with past 1 hour. There's a lot of information here. So coming back to the real estate reports and different things. So you synthesize a lot of this, but I want to highlight, because if I'm an investor or if I'm a person that I'm curious and I want to get into this, and my audience is quite mature, so I want to make sure we target them. So the real estate brings increasing liquidity, accessibility to real estate, democratization, global reach, cost efficiency, fractional ownership, transparency, security, regulatory compliance, market efficiency, and innovation. We touched all of this during the interview. So for someone, and for you, I think especially the community, I want to come back to the community, because even me, I think one of the challenges that we build the community, and I think that's probably your biggest. Your token is quite mature as well. In the internet, and we're going to put links for all that for people listening to us. But from these angles of building Binaryx as a global platform that can actually mature, and especially bring in the community of both the investors and the real estate developers and the agents, because it's kind of a fragmented ecosystem. From your experience building the platform and technology-wise, I think you guys did a fantastic work. But now, of course, the success of any platform is how you bring clients and the community. What are you doing in your first? You have an affiliate marketing, you have different things. Give us a bit of an overview about, and as well, you have an academy, a referral program. So I think this is, for me, the most important thing that can listen, because people can get other referrals and engage with each other and build something quite scalable.
Yeah, actually, we have that kind of stuff that you mentioned, like a referral program, and there is a lot of users come through the mouth to mouth to our project. Also, for those who doesn't know and doesn't understand how the product works, we have documentation area. It's pretty strict, pretty understandable. There is a lot of different stuff explained, like legal framework, taxation, how technology works, how partners works, how tokenization happens. But for those people who doesn't want to read all those information, we have a pretty simple academy where you can go pass through like a few quests and understand, make some points and rewards for that academy, and with the help of them learn how the product works. So it's like a gamify the process of educational. And of course, the most important topic is just go to the landlords. We have we call our community landlords, and you can go to the landlords chat. It's open for everyone. We have closed chat for already existed investors, and we have open chat for those people who just join in and would like to talk about how the project works and ask some topics. So we connecting them together, and they're able to ask the question our community managers, our existing investors, and etc. And of course, on each property page, like users can find the button with the chat, so they can connect with our support team directly, or they can schedule a call with one of our managers who will explain them personally how everything works and how they can make their first investment. So it's pretty variative journeys through what people can pass through. And if to tell the truth, right, it's not possible to have just one way how you're working with your community, because it's some kind of the bricks with which you're building the house. And that is our approach. That is how we are working. That kind of bricks building the community, and we taking the community from the different parts. I cannot tell you a lot about marketing and approach the marketing, what works better, what works not so good, because it's like some kind of our internal secrets. because we pay a lot of money and we made a lot of effort and researches around that topic, and we see how other projects are growing and what they are using. They have the same mistakes that we made, so I cannot tell all those things, because it's like the things from which the business is built,
Of course. Yeah, it's your own IP, of course. So last question, and of course, it's I really like the platform, and I think your focus right now is really growing the community and as well reaching bigger audience with security, like you said. So you've been a managing partner for Unchained Funds, which raised cryptocurrency donations to support Ukraine during its present crisis. You as well has been working with as an angel investor and serve at the management board of Genius Space, and you've been actually around a lot of startups. So for people listening to us in general, and I think as someone that has been still young, but as well with a fantastic experience as an entrepreneur, as an angel investor, and as well in the blockchain and fintech industry, how do you see the next 5 to 10 years? Because I think it's a lot of opportunities coming, and especially crypto has been crazy in 2024. And it seems like it's going to continue. But as well, there's a lot of democratization. I think if you have right now the president of the United States, there is a couple of crypto ventures, definitely things are going to be changing quite significant. So I want to see your views on all of these different things and a bit more of the present.
Yeah, actually, I will be honest with you. We live right now in the fast changing world, and the main topics, in my opinion, right now, of course, like this is the technology, and my life is built around the technologies. Right now, a lot of the things and a lot of companies in which I invest, I participate as advisor or as a developer or as as a manager, and in the most cases, all the things that come into my mind right now is about the edge between technologies and the real world. So in my opinion, why I really believe in tokenization is because that kind of edge right now helping to us connect the blockchain world and the financial systems to the real world. And I wish and that what we are doing, we are right now tokenizing the real estate, but Binaryx is not just for the real estate. It and it's already coded in our name, because binary is like digital and X it's anything. So we plan to tokenize other assets too. But this is the path that we're going through, and I understand that more and more unique possibilities will appear. And if to go into another topics, what will be really booming for the next couple years, it's of course AI. Artificial intelligence is the one of the most of the fastest growing things right now. And the second thing, in my opinion, is probably robotics, because right now AI brings, like when I'm studying in university, we are studying how the AI works, and people are thinking that this AI will go through like vision systems. And most of AIs, it was like vision systems, face recognition, pictures recognition, and etc. But we understand that AI go through the different parts, and right now it's growing extremely fast, and that will be implemented in the robotics, and our life will be changed in the next couple of years, probably not years but decades. In like 1 or 2 decades, it will be changed totally, because all work what people are doing right now, I mean like cleaning, cooking, all the stuff, all the simple work will be took by machines. And we need to understand that, and we need to be ready, adapt, and align our lives with it. And in my opinion, so those 3 topics is like crypto and tokenization, AI, and robotics will be the best businesses and the best areas where you can grow.
Completely agree, and that's what I've been discussing on this series. And I believe that what you guys are doing is partly bringing a lot of that innovation, especially in the real estate industry.
Thank you.
The robotics is already a big thing, but it's going to be much bigger. And I think a lot of this integration that you have in your platform can be brought as well to tokenizing assets and digital twins as well, things related. Well, Oleg, I think we passed over 1 hour. There's a lot of material here. We'll present this and present it in my YouTube channel, but as well in different parts. We'll put the links to all the different parts. Probably the last one is a bit of where the links coming from you, a bit of special the Telegram groups and the different parts where people can engage with your audience. Besides the links coming from you is always different. And as well, they can find you at your team and your community.
Okay, yeah, I will be glad to talk with your audience who will join in our community, because I'm always communicating with our investors, with our community, with people who would like to join our project. And welcome, guys. Thank you so much for the attention, and I wish to everyone a really great day.
Thank you so much, Oleg.